Happy Mask Day to all, Happy Mask Month for all, Happy Mask Year for all. However, today one woke up to this incredible volcano front page news, as if, it's the kind of reaction I saw from people on front page of the media, from people on Facebook, as if a wife has suddenly found that a husband is sleeping with her best friend. Hey, yeah, you got it. I'm talking about the statement made by the US Navy that without any for the freedom of sailing, they have encroached on India's economic zone without informing us. Did we need a reaction so eruptive? Just shows how thin-skinned our folks are. Especially our foreign policy mandarins and lieutenants, Delhi, and all the actually all the ex-servicemen who probably grown up in the USSR era. If you're back again, can we trust them? Trust has been broken. All kinds of mishmash. What we forget is that, they've done this before, as all the reports are suggesting. Only the statement that was made is now being framed as an aggressive statement. Was it an aggressive statement? Well, hey, look at it the other way, right? Look at the timing of it all. The timing actually tells you a story. The timing is right after good old Big Bear, Sergei Lavrov, has gone through this country. The US may be sending us a message that, hey, while you can play both sides, so can we. We've got to protect our interests too. Who knows where India might act like a runaway bride, which it continues to do. Hey, so I think this has to be put in perspective. It's not what it's being made out to be, at least not what I think, what I believe anyway. And we've got to grow out of this. So look at what we say. US warship stirs the waters without Indian consent. Delhi conveys concern. Whoa. Headline India Express. Now what do we have here? Delhi fumes at US Navy's ops without consent in Indian EEZ. Wow. Well, somebody's got to figure out, right? India objects to US Navy ops near Lakshadweep. Such confrontation, US statement, very unusual. Right? I don't think there's anything unusual about anything, right? US Navy operation in Arabian Sea draws India's ire. As if anybody cares. But it's done what it was supposed to. So you got to figure, right? You got to figure who's behind this, right? And what's behind this, right? He says, by Friday afternoon, South Bloc and Pentagon were in touch with each other to dial down the diplomatic heat. The damage has been done. What damage are we talking about? This is in no way affects the Quad and the level of our cooperation, but now diplomats have to do the job, given that this has created some trust deficit. If this can create a trust deficit, let me just tell you, this is all the mandarins on South Bloc and the lieutenants, Delhi, and all our think tanks. All the same, folks. All the same. Why? And people have actually come out and said we should be joining China again. People on Facebook saying join China again and make two big Asian giants. Somebody's talking about Russia, China, and India. And, it's kind of bizarre, right? Now, one incident throws us out of whack. Both Russians and China know where to press the button, right? Because here we have India, China discuss next steps of disengagement. That ain't happened, but people are again propagating that we should become one Hindi Chini Pai bullshit, right? India continues, expedite LAC troop pullback, India tells China. While China continues to finger us, China and Bhutan discuss ways to fast-track border talks. And I want to talk to all my friends who continue to have these crazy dreams of India and China, one mammoth against what? Against the West, just because the British ruled us? All of us want our kids to study where? The US, go to Australia, go to Canada, go to UK. Does any one of us want to send their kids to China and Russia? Not one of us. Right? Now, while that's happening, China, Pakistan to strengthen cooperation in the UN. What is interesting to note for us is Pakistan's diminished equities in Washington, D.C. And this is where it's important for us to really understand how to play the United States. Welcome back to my analogy of the body and India's defense, having been through the upheaval that's caused in our media with the the US freedom of sailing. Let's look at our bicep, our left bicep, that's Bangladesh. Okay, let's talk about Bangladesh. Our Prime Minister just visited there. And what do we have? What do we have different people say about it? Let's see what Saeed Badrul Hassan says about it. Joined by history and future. As PM Modi takes part in Golden Jubilee celebration of Bangladesh's independence, spotlight is on enduring bond and unresolved concerns. What does he say? Bangladesh's people, and that includes the generation born and coming of age after 1971, have gratefully recalled the moral, material and diplomatic support India provided in its struggle to free itself of Pakistan's repression in a year that began as Annus Horribilis but ended as Annus Mirabilis. That the Mukti Bahini, the Bengali guerrilla force, was trained in camps in India is part of shared political heritage. The very first independent Bengali government in history, formed and administered by Mujib's close political associates and known as Mujib Nagar government, operated from Theatre Road in Kolkata, underscores Bangladesh's historical narrative. Remembered too with gratitude are the efforts made by Indira Gandhi towards arousing global concern about the murder of Bengalis in 1971. Remember Indira Gandhi? Remember whose party it was? The Congress party. You cannot associate this whole process from them, right? Maintaining stable and friendly relations with India has been to Bangladesh's advantage. Now what does Bhaumik write? Made for each other, Bangladesh is evolving into India's best friend in the neighborhood. Hasina warmed Indian hearts when her government not only invited Modi to be honored guest on its 50th Independence Day, but formally requested the UN to recognize the 1971 genocide and Pakistan to apologize for it. For Indian diplomats who want the Pakistani army's India hate hysteria tamed to deliver a meaningful peace process with Islamabad, focus on the 1971 genocide is timely. It also helps India domestically in conflict zones like Kashmir, where Islamist separatists raise pro-Pakistan slogans and demand merger. He says, the Modi visit on March 26 will revive memories of India's support to the Bangladeshi independence war, while sheltering 10 million refugees with an economy very low on food security. It also helped register the fact of bipartisanship in India-Bangladeshi relationship from the Indian side, if not the other way around. India and Bangladesh are destined to grow together. Despite the occasional hiccups caused by the social media savvy lunatic fringe of religious fundamentalists on both sides, the India-Bangladesh marriage is set to get more intense and rewarding. When I say deepening ties with Dhaka, New Delhi must keep the bilateral relationship and domestic politics separate. Difficult, but it's got to do it. But if there is one neighbor where all of India's interests converge, it is Bangladesh, not Sri Lanka, not Pakistan. The future of India's Act East policy, stability and development in Northeast, economic integration in the larger region, climate crisis, cross-border flow of people, and peace and security are contingent on ties with Dhaka. Man, don't get a more important neighbor, just like Mexico is to the United States. Friends indeed. In a crucial year for India-Bangladesh ties, Delhi must not lose the moment or take Dhaka for granted. Cannot take Dhaka for granted. He says today's Bangladesh is basking in a new self-confidence because of its spectacular economic performance even during the pandemic. Its social welfare indicators are better on some counts than India's. The road to improving relations with Bangladesh does not lie through the Commerce or Water Resource Department alone. And as West Bengal goes to the polls, the loosely framed poll slogans of star campaigners will be tracked. This is to be remembered, right? And from the other side, Dawood Haider writes, the liberation of Bangladesh. Bangladesh is no longer a bottomless basket. You must remember that. As described by Henry Kissinger, the country's per capita income is 2,064. Primary education now stands at nearly 98%. In the 50 years, Bangladesh has moved past religion and the two-nation theory. The country glories in her freedom, in her place among world nations. Jai Bangla, Jai Bangladesh. This is what we have to honor and respect from the Bangladesh side, folks. They are no longer a basket case, which especially people like as high up as the Home Minister seem to suggest in these heated moments of divisive politics. And as C. Raja Mohan writes, from being one of the world's poorest countries in 72, Bangladesh is now racing to be in the world's top 25 economies by the end of this decade. Shame on Pakistan. See how important Bangladesh is. Indo-Bangla bridge gives Northeast India its closest link to seaport. He says Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Bangladesh counterpart Sheikh Hasina inaugurated Tuesday the 1.9 kilometer long Maitri Setu, a border bridge connecting Tripura and other states in the northeast to the port of Chattogram. Wow. And this was something that was a point that I wanted to raise. Shishir Gupta wrote PM to visit Bangladesh on March 26. There are no big ticket agreements planned during the PM's visit. Interesting. India and, however, they did a lot. India and Japan are also looking to take up more joint development projects in Bangladesh. Is an important partner. PM to land in Dhaka tomorrow. What is important here? Will be the chief guest at Bangladesh's celebration for its 50th anniversary and 100th anniversary of its founder Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Important. And what did Bangladesh have to say at that time? PM in Dhaka today. Hasina advisor. India is most important neighbor. Damn right it is. Modi has assured Hasina on Tista agreement, says Shringla. Well, what happens if the West Bengal polls don't go his way? Let's see. Let's hope Mamta plays ball, because this is more important than just parochial politics of West Bengal. India makes exception to give Mujib the Gandhi Peace Prize. Oman Sultan too gets prize posthumously. Very interesting and important geostrategic moves, right? And Modi goes crazy. New Raga to wax doses. India pulls out all stops for Bangladesh visit. India will announce an increase in scholarships. Most important, India will announce an increase in scholarship for students from Bangladesh. That is really important, right? Then, Delhi, Dhaka, and this is what happened. Delhi, Dhaka ink 5 agreements. Hasina pushes for Tista Pact. I hope that happens. An important point made by Prime Minister, shared future with Bangladesh can be vaccination against radicalism. Is absolutely right. But then you have to clap with both hands, folks, because the people, the rabid right, didn't take it too well, because violence spreads in Bangladesh amid protests, attacks on Hindu temples and trades. That's what I say. You know, when you follow a particular domestic politics in India, it ends up also reflecting in our foreign policy, at least as far as Bangladesh is concerned. And this is something that especially the Home Minister and the BJP that is intent on becoming, opposition Mukt Bharat should understand and realize. And trust deficit hampering seamless movement of goods between India and Bangladesh, says World Bank. Among the major gaps that the two countries need to address is the MVA include inadequate transport infrastructure, protective tariffs and non-tariff barriers, and a broad trust deficit through the region itself. And this must go. And you know, when you do things like this, the trust deficit and the violence that you see in Bengal is going to happen, right? Eye on Bengal votes Modi to visit Mathua Mandir in Bangladesh. Now that's kind of, just short-sighted at the very least. And this is even more short-sighted. He says, Bengal will back CAA if BJP comes to power, says Shah. Now where the hell is he going to send all these people back to? Not Bangladesh. They are not listening to you. They are not going to listen to us. And everything that Prime Minister Modi has done, or what we did in 1971, will be flushed down the toilet if we continue this route. Then, a little bit of a note in conclusion. Modi in Dhaka. India-Bangladesh ties have hit the right stride. Let's keep it that way. He says, in any case, Bangladesh surge in living standards, this is something that our Home Minister should hear, it may have surpassed Eastern India in this respect. And success in garments and textile industries, which already employ millions, means that the problem of illegal immigrants belongs more to the past, and there is little point being overly exercised about it today. India and Bangladesh share a special chemistry now. Basically what it suggests is, with the standards together, it just makes no sense for us to even to run that narrative that Bangladeshis are coming to India. But now, folks, COVID is back. Stay at home, be safe, wear the mask.